I love science fiction, I love space movies, and I've always wanted to do one, but somehow just never had the opportunity to do it.
We have a history of doing period pieces and doing really different styles of film. It's very rare that you'll find us like filming in someone's apartment in modern day.
When the theme came out, Help Wanted, and we saw the poster with an astronaut in it, I'm like, okay, it's kind of a bit of a snowball's chance to get astronaut out of 50 slots. But then we're also like, well, we want to embrace the festival and not be like, oh, you got trash collector, trash guy in space. Actually, that would have been funny.
Every year you get an occupation in the 48-hour film project. And so I was really hoping for an occupation that was not something we've had in the past. We wanted something new and different. We like new challenges. On Thursday night, we went to the launch party and we hung out for a while. We went up to randomly pick which occupation we were going to be using for our film. There we go. Yeah, woo! Pulling archivist, I was just so elated because I knew that that was something that could be old-timey or could be like, you can archive so many different things.
Archivist was like, oh, cool, yes, this will work.
So we zoomed back to the office and we had invited anyone that wanted to join us for brainstorming could join us. We were pretty excited that everyone just kind of started making all these suggestions that would work for space.
I'm gonna put knots.
Okay.
Check
some other knots slash
mission
status, yeah, or whatever. Just things ain't going well. She pulls her drive.
Chooses humanity. We have to decide in here, does she pull a couple memories before the final memory or not?
She pulls her drive. We had the whole outline on the dry erase board, and Amanda said, can you do the spaceship? I'm like, don't worry about it. I think Darren asked the same thing, and that don't worry about it turned into a very busy Friday.
Brian and I, we go to Home Depot to buy all the wood and the materials we needed to build the spaceship, and it just kind of like hit us like, this is a fair amount of money and gonna take a lot of time to build this in a very, short film race. We didn't have a lot of time to do it. We needed it to be done in time for filming, but we also needed to get at least a couple hours of sleep so that we could be functional the next day for filming. And we had all these team members coming to help, and we're like, okay, are we doing this?
Like IKEA or Home Depot, when you have a full cart, you're like, I've got to check out with this. I've got to get it in the van. I've got to get it to where it's going to go. And we just kind of sat down on the floor and said like, okay, let's have a talk.
Ultimately, it came down to, do we continue on from where we are, or do we start over?
And we just said, let's go for it.
I think probably on every single film challenge that we've ever done, we have had that moment. Brian often compares it to like a marathon where you just have to push through that and you have to get past that and you just have to keep putting one foot in front of the other and making progress. You can't get stalled on that.
And Karen kind of had the baseline of like, look, if we just make the set look really good and we can make the suit look really good, that's a good baseline to start from. And we can always shape more of the story as we go along, even though we had a good structure to go on. So we bought the wood and we just started building. D7 and
I won't say I'm nervous.
I put a lot of
I don't get too nervous about these. I'm dealing with food, so.
If you wanted to put Interstellar up on that TV, I would do it.
we found that like quilted fabric, which looks like spaceship insulation. That really helped cover up a lot of space and really helped sell that look.
How's it going in here?
Don't stop believing and building a spaceship. That's my motto. Kind of roughing in that shape enough so the team could be like, okay, cool. Kind of just building without a plan, just building as I went, and then like wherever we could use cardboard, we used cardboard if it wasn't load bearing. Amanda showed up and was like, I'm gonna be here as long as you need me, and she just went nuts. And we had DL and Ian. Ian was helping with structure. DL was putting all manner of like LED lights into his makeshift panels and stuff. So everyone kind of was like, you know, full steam ahead. So we're like, great, we've got a spaceship. And then the spacesuit happened.
It's a blur, as a lot of, fast-paced projects are. It's like, I know I checked in Thursday night after the launch party, and they told me a little bit, like, probably gonna do spacesuit. I'm like, okay.
Earlier in that week, Steph had known we had talked about maybe doing a space film. So she had gone by a local Halloween store and she found an astronaut helmet for $30. Looked pretty good. We probably need some tweaking from us, but I'm like, cool, we know we can get it. It's open till 9 p.m. We can grab it the night of. We know we're gonna do it. And the store was closed for inspection. It would not be open. We're like, great.
One of our producers was coming up from Rockville area, and so we had him stop at one of the stores on the way up, and he was able to get a helmet.
We do use Maryland Ensemble Theater a lot for their costume shop. They're amazing and lend out things and let us borrow things. I thought maybe there was something I could adapt, but then I looked at it in person again. I didn't like it. Found rentals, they were terrible. They were awful.
On the phone, they had told Steph, well, it's not museum quality, but it's pretty good. Our producer sent us pictures of it, and it was just so cheesy looking. And we couldn't modify it at all because it was a rental.
I could find another rental. We don't have time for this. They have to shoot. Originally, I had bought a wannabe Carhartt full zip-up, long sleeve, full panted suit at Walmart. Seems like a pretty cool, good, solid base. They said grab it. Friday morning, I came here to the office.
And we started kind of arranging where patches were gonna go, name patches.
I mean, the reason that Abigail's last name is Ansel is in the movie is because she had an Ansel patch, so we were like, that's her last name.
We knew we wanted something like futuristic, but not too stylized, just something that didn't look like a typical, we slapped it together and it looks like we slapped it together. Really just trying to make their vision happen with what little time and resources we had, which is what the 72 Film Fest is all about anyway. Doing what you can do well, rushed, basically, and under pressure, which is honestly what so many artists, that's when they thrive, is when it's like, there's a deadline, make it happen. We figured it out together, and it's a lot of, Brian, come back, come look at it. Okay, he likes that part. Okay, work 10 more minutes. Okay, I pinned it different. Brian, come back.
It really started to come alive for me, and I was like, this is looking really good. This is working.
Steph just really pulled it together, and then she spray painted the helmet to match the color. And we loved that it was like that kind of mustardy color, because you do see that color a lot in older space suits. The piece that she's wearing inside the capsule most of the time, like the tight fitting thing, we kind of modeled that after the outfit that Sandra Bullock wears in Gravity, which we found out is actually they don't actually wear that tight fitting of clothes in space, but it's okay. Suspension of disbelief. But that was just like a sporty kind of turtleneck and leggings.
We're making a bundle picture. Okay.
Oh, she's breaking into the archives. Change the whole movie. She actually had to sew on that hood piece, add in the headphones and add the fabric to the side, because that's what they look like if you look at astronauts' outfits.
What stars?
This doesn't look good.
Working together too, Amanda helped me pin stuff. Everybody on the team was like, oh, that looks cool, what if you try this? And I changed a couple things once I got back home.
Hope is the key to all this.
If we don't win costume design this year, I'm going to be really upset.
Yes. Give Steph all the awards, please.
It came together, and you have to have faith, this will come together, because it has to.
Oh my goodness. Oh my
Brian,
goodness, great.
you can tone it however you want.
all that garbage. And not garbage. Oh, there's a computer in there.
How about that one, Brian?
Yes.
We didn't want it to be over the top, right? We didn't want it to look too cheesy or anything like that. We wanted it to look realistic. It may have seemed kind of homemade, but if you look at especially older pictures of space capsules, that's what they look like. They're kind of messy inside. There's a lot of junk everywhere. Everything's just strapped to the walls. And so as we did our research and found these pictures, we were like, oh, real spaceships aren't all that, they're not super clean lines and everything's put in drawers and like, no, they're literally just stuff like smacked on the walls and just like stuck on there. We like put a call out on Facebook and said, hey, does anybody happen to have any space stuff laying around? And we actually had several people that offered. We had one friend that he owns a HVAC company, and so he was like, I got a bunch of space looking stuff, and so our producer was able to pick up a bunch of good stuff from there that was really useful. Matt, who was new to the team, he just was out on a walk and someone had like dumped a bunch of stuff I guess they were getting rid of on the side of the road, and so he sent us a picture and we were like, yeah, that looks great. So he just picked up this stuff he found on the side of the road and brought it for us to use for the space capsule.
So we constructed the entire set at the offices of Duo Media Productions, which is our corporate side of Starlight Films, and it worked pretty well. There was enough space to have like a little work table and the shooting area, plenty of space to light from outside, because you gotta have, you know, lots of space to light from outside the set, especially when we did that like gag by the window when the sunlight is going by, plenty of space to light that. Let's have the ship spinning out of control. Let's move that light so it's going by the window. It just blew my mind like how much a team can do in such a short amount of time to create something out of nothing. And I was like, okay, this is why I make movies.
Disable alarm. Status report on archive payload. Flora and fauna archive, 100% intact. DNA archive, 100% intact. Memory archive. The ARC-3 was struck during its journey and was unable to continue its course.
Great, I'm happy. Let's go. We just made a movie. Where was it set? Look at that. We made a space movie. And I was right. I was like, you know what? I'm so frustrated buying wood for this set. And it's exhausting, but it's gonna look amazing. I'm very impressed with everybody. This was thrown up so quickly, like the structure. And then dressing just looks so good. All right, it's time to engage the edit. Begin with rough cut.
Well, you can hear Dancing Queen in the background. We've always had home base out of one of our houses. This year we were like, you know what, we're gonna make sure that our base camp is at our office. We're right above a restaurant that has weddings almost every single weekend, like wedding receptions, and so it was quite loud on Saturday night until the DJ stopped playing the music and they stopped partying. We're super happy with the finished film. It's one of our best to date. It's one of our favorites. I've had multiple people tell me it's like their favorite of all of our films.
Team, time indoor is, let's see here, 8:23. It's so.
It was just so polished. It just came together so nicely. The team was amazing. We've taken some movies in the past and like done a lot of fixing to them, and this one we don't really have to do that too. The response has been amazing. We've gotten so many kind words, so we're just super happy with this movie.
And the winner for Best Costume goes to...
As a filmmaker, as a director, one of my biggest concerns, in addition to telling a story, is to make sure that people feel like their time was well spent. Whether we're paying them or not, in this case, everyone's working for free, you want them to feel like their sacrifice of time and energy and talent was well spent. And it's always a very important thing to me. And this was super exciting because we had kind of like a lot of the big players out of the Starwipe team. I think most of the core team was with us, and Amanda, who we've kind of started to build a filmmaking relationship with. Also on this shoot, we had a sound guy we work with professionally, who 6 years ago introduced himself to us and said, oh, and I don't do indie film. Cool, we respect that. Indie film can be rough, I get it. And over our time of getting to know him, this Brian Garfield, he's like, we keep talking about making movies, and he's like, when are you guys gonna invite me on a movie? So he said, we're making one this weekend, you wanna do it? And he said, yes. So that was another thing. I'm like, okay, Brian is like, he's very busy, he's a great sound guy, his time to be well spent. And I think it was. I think everyone was really invested and was really excited with the final product. And yeah, I couldn't be happier with how it turned out from like what we all imagined it could be to what it became. While I was sound mixing the final sound mix on the film, I found myself just like weeping because the end of the movie is very emotional and very personal for me.
Watching that first cut, like I wasn't prepared for my reaction. And like by the end of it, I was just like weeping. And since then, we've had many people say that they got choked up or like teared up, or that they even just were like outright crying.
All the work that we did and Amanda's performance just like cuts right through the screen in 6 minutes and gets to you. And that was really special for me, that you can make people care about a character that quickly and impact them that quickly. That was like one of the most exciting takeaways from the whole experience, is making people cry in 6 minutes.
You know, there's some sacrificing sometimes, but then you get that sweet, sweet moment of the finished product, and then an even sweeter moment when this team like blows away all the award winning. So it was just really cool to be on that team, and just, I can't even explain like how, I feel like I'm really lucky to have been in this geographical, you know, to meet up with Star Wipe and be a part of some of their projects.
We do plan to do more of these in the future, so we don't really have a plan to stop. I think a lot of people do a few of these and then they're kind of burnt out, but for us it's just such a good way to like keep our chops up and keep the creative juices flowing, and so we just love doing it. We haven't done it every single year, but usually when we don't do it in a year, it's because of a big life event or because we had another movie we were working on at the time. So we're excited to do some more of these.